Is this on? Yep. Is this on? Hello, hello. It is I, Equinox Eterna, and I was speaking to the nothing for like a minute because I didn't have my microphone connected. Hello, how's it going? Wait, let me check. Let me. How's it going? Yep. Yep, you can hear me. That was so fully stupid of me. But hey, hello. We are here. Ooh, Ascalon on the screen. Nothing special is going to happen with Ascalon right now. Absolutely nothing. So let's go to the event because I need to keep reading this event because there's a lot of things this week that I have to do, like the Limbos Company Intervalo. The Convoluted Kernel, was it the name for the GFL event? The GFL 1 event. But I'm not going to play it here because I want to see it. I mean, yeah, see it on my sofa or just lay on the floor and read it more normally because it's GFL. I'm not a good GFL1 player, so I don't think I can do it justice because I also just go in, watch, read the story, watch walkthrough for the levels, keep going. I'm on GFL 1 for the story, and I have been using the same squads that were meta like 4-5 years ago. I haven't changed them. So yeah, and it's the Andori-san Yang Xiangyu is in 3 weeks. Andori-san Belka event are on this Thursday, but I'm not going to do them the Thursday. Probably Friday or somewhat. So let's keep with this. Wait, let me get the tokens. Be it tokens. No, but let's keep going with the story. I have only been farming the Oriox heat. So yeah, let's continue. I need to keep doing it so I can farm the good things. I'm probably going to read like 3 or 4 levels today, or just do 5 and left it just at the end. So I do the boss, and then the Thursday or Friday I do the last stage and the last story node, and then do the extra stages. Oh shit, I'm extremely sleepy. Yeah. It's not tired. I'm just sleep deprived. My what's the name? Sleep schedule is incredibly fucked up. So yep, let's keep going. Something new to put here. I don't have Bridget yet, so hey, let's get a Harmony. Where is she? Where is Dublin Gal? And puzzle. This one.
Doctor, 私のロドスにおける表だった活動はなるべく減らしてほしいかと。
Hundreds, thousands of years ago, the Sauron's ancestors did the same as their descendants do now, lighting bonfire after bonfire in the balance between autumn and winter. They would sleep beside the red dragon, their red-hot dreams buffeted by sand and wind until raw. But even so, it was enough to keep everyone warm. They would wake up to a still burning bonfire because the red dragon does not sleep. With a moment's rest, the red dragon could find respite from fatigue and pain by breathing into dreams of homeland, liquor, and freedom, rising slowly from the flames and into the sky. Today, Samhain approaches. The people fuel the flames with wood torn from nearby ruins, and have entirely forgotten the ancient leisure time that seemed to last forever. Put your hand in the fire. Look at the color of the flames on my hip. I am a Tara and I tell you, one blessed by the red dragon. You think a spy could fake the color of a lamp? Get on with it! May the red dragon be merciful. Oh, it doesn't ever hurt too bad. Really? Look, you can barely make out the burn marks on my hand. So you're not a Victorian spy. But do you know of anyone else who hasn't undergone the trial yet? Jesus fucking Christ. They're already resorting to self-immolation. You. Yes, you. Have you burned your hand over there yet? Say something, will you? And I'm fiddling with the broken knot of yours. Come with me. I'll take you there. Just put down the knot. You hit me. But my knot. You there? Fine. Give me your bloody knot. Just come with me to see if you're not a Victorian spy. The quiet residents stand up without a word and head towards the bonfire with shaky steps. The square has already descended into complete chaos. So, half of it stems from suspicion and hatred, not to mention frustration at having revealed no spies yet. The other half comes from the looks of despair and the deadly silence. Until a faint sound of something dragged across the ground rumbles in the distance. The sound grows louder and louder until it drowns out all the clamor and chaos. Everyone hears the sound of something massive slowly being dragged closer to them. Holy shit. Well, I say holy shit, but it's in the thumbnail. In a flash, every other sound fades, leaving only this shaking of steel and years in its wake. Hiding in the humid mist is the gigantic silhouette of an ice-cold statue. Forget by a hero and still considered incomplete by the townsfolk, the statue of the Red Dragon's ancestor is presented to Tara. It arrives in the raging light of the dying sun, yet even so nearly manages to shroud the sky. The dragon statue came to life? No, that's... Cullen? Cullen, are you here to help us find the Victorians too? He has to prove he isn't what first. Over here, Cullen. Listen, the fire won't hurt you as long as you're not Victorian. Are you deaf? Get over here already. Hold on, he dragged the statue all on his own? They finally notice the iron chains wrapped around his arms. 1, 2, 3 times around, and that the statue's weight was resting on those wide yet mortal shoulders. The hero does not respond to his name and continues forward. The statue grinds down on him till he draws blood. His flesh is nearly rent asunder, his bones cry out in sorrow, and yet he presses on. The young hero walks ahead of the statue, unafraid of the disparity between his small stature and the gigantic structure. He takes one step, and then another, each heavy, uncertain, towards an open space in the crowd. He parks the statue in the square empty center and struggles to turn around before facing everyone before him. The steel skeleton bears an icy elegance, wings frozen in motion crawling for flight, in place as if it were meant to be there since the beginning. Stop, my brothers and sisters, before we kill any more of our own. For a moment, no one dares to respond. Hate and doubt both remain, as well as the pain that keeps everyone from advancing towards him like an army of walking corpses. The man before them is a hero. He protected Saoirsí. He dragged both blessing and curse all the way here. And the statue behind him laces every word with an awe-inspiring weight. Kill our own? Who? You are burning hands with fire now, but what if your spy isn't found? He really dragged the statue here. What should we do? Should we interrupt him? Did our food not return to us? Is the war not over? Say there really was a spy. Why must the entire city gather here? Why must we hurt each other just to find one lowly spy? Let him finish. I'll say it again. The war is over. When it had just ended, my thoughts were simple. I'd wait for a smith better than myself to arrive, then learn a thing or two from them so I could repair what I had made myself. But no smiths came, and I learned no skills. I even took what your lot needed to live and forget into the statue. That was wrong of me. Now Saoirsí is short of everything. Even an empty bowl is better put to catching rainwater than being cast into a shiny statue that does nothing but grow. And the food. I was so worried yesterday. So afraid that famine would put us past the point of no return. Maybe it was the Red Dragon's mercy, or maybe one of the Arc Blades had a good harvest. But the fact is, our food is back. And as long as we're alive, we can make it through this. Am I wrong? But Theo is no longer alive. Still feeling pity for the Victorian bastard? Yes, I am. When I heard of his death, I began to hate everyone in this city, myself included. No better than anyone to us what Victorians have done. I know that with the last of their strength, they leaned over and begged me to take him away. I hate you all. I even feel like taking revenge on any of you who sat back and watched him die. But revenge needs a reason, doesn't it? What's our revenge for then? To rob them just like they robbed us back then. And how do you suppose Saoirsí could manage to take even a single grain from the Victorians, when we already melted our access into this statue? Had to let those bastards feel the pain we went through. Yeah, just like how I want to make your lot feel what it looked like to die alone in an alley. Our brothers, our sisters died so we could live. Why must we now throw our lives away just to make others suffer? Do you want us to love them then? To love those who stole our crops, kill our kin? No, of course not. No one needs to love their enemy. All I want is for you to love the living, to love yourselves. But I don't even need you to do that. I just have one question for you all. Tomorrow, once Samhain is over, once the shadow of war finally leaves us, what will you do? I wanted to finish this statue and carry my name on it, but now I want to find a better smith to teach me to fix up a prosthetic leg. I don't know what's up with the fancy speech of Sud and Kulan, but I don't care what happens tomorrow or about the war. I just want the Victorians dead. So if you're speaking for them, I want you dead too. Fine. Kulan swings the sledgehammer he used to force the statue towards the dragon's head. However, he exhausts himself, both in making and moving it. So with a movement hesitation, the hammer does not come crashing down. The crowd even assumes it to be some sort of ritual, and for a moment does not react to his plan. Only when they realize Kulan intends to destroy the statue do even the most greedy of the living dead collectively howl and dash in his direction, surrounding him. Don't be foolish, Kulan! Nemo's cry is drowned out by the crowd yells, but Kulan's voice remains clean for all to hear. Lokshini thinks of rushing over to him, but the angry crowd blocks her path. She bites her lip and tries to open a path through the sea of people with both her flames and voice, shooting to attract their attention. Unfortunately, they ask as if they all have already lost their senses. Maybe they truly have. Who can say? I'm going to destroy the statue in order to return the lives it took from you. Destroy it? How dare you! I remember what each and every bone was forged from. It will turn its spike back into axe heads and blades, its rib backs into bowls, its skull into tables and chairs, and give them all back to you. Traitor! How could a hero like you betray us like this? If being unwilling to take someone else's livelihood makes me a traitor, then I was never a hero, but a traitor all along. Excuses! Excuses? I'll tell you who Kulan really is. He's no hero. He's a liar who hungered for fame. He claimed to have killed a squad of Victorian scouts in the dark woods. But this was not in the woods that he met the Victorians, but somewhere further away. They were enemy scouts. Just a band of poor traders, already trampled over by some army or other. He wanted to save them, but in the end, could only save one boy, a Victorian child. He didn't know what to do. Beat out of desperation or vanity, he decided to cut their heads off and tell his people they were scouts. That way he'd become a hero, the most prestigious person in town. He thought he could use that status for good. Raising the boy will become an act of mercy by the benevolent hero. You lied to us? Even this poor liar knew that he was still a blacksmith, and thought he should learn his trade after the war. But you lot, what about you? You are not Kulan. You're a fake, pretending to be him. You're not Kulan. He's our hero, the man of steel who even a wall Victorian squad couldn't handle. Who the bloody hell are you? After dragging the statue all the way here from my workshop, how much longer do you expect me to live? Fresh blood gushes from Kulan's mouth and nose as if he has just uttered his last words. He bears an almost kind and expectant gaze as he looks at his compatriots surrounding him, hoping their faces will reveal an expression other than hate. But he feels as if his eyes meet only a sea of purple flames. The faces behind the fire are difficult to discern, as if they are restless dead he met in those rings outside long, long ago. He looks into the distance. In a corner at the edge of the square, he sees a tiny figure. He did not have time to look for Theo's corpse, but now it stares at him blankly, purple flames clearly visible around it. Theo? You too? This was all for naught. Kulan stumbles to his feet and picks up his hammer and to sing. The crowd stares at him with dread, fearing that the hammer will fall on their heads, but they do not back down. Kulan uses the last of his strength, and with the utmost ferocity he strikes the dragon's head, as if sounding a death knell. The hero's body collapses before the giant dragon, stunning the crowd as if they have lost something. Lokshini's voice finally spreads as his fire burns like a sunset set aflame, but she fails to drag any attention. At the very moment, the statue suddenly bursts into purple flames along with Kulan lying quietly before it, sending the crowd reflexively into retreat. Within the fire, Kulan begins to pick himself up. while the giant statue extends its wings as if to fly away. When Kulan gets fully to his feet, the dragon statue flaps its huge wings, lifts off, and lands on the empty pedestal in the center of the square, prepared just for it. The crowd watches in complete silence, through whether out of shock or reverence is unclear. From the citadel come the faintly discernible sounds of footsteps, slow and late. Truly a shame that I missed the only hero left in this city. Well then, people of Saoirsí, your hero has sacrificed his life for this statue. Nightfall approaches, so if you still follow the Red Dragon's will, then you will obey curfew and head home. Kulan uses the last of his strength, and with the utmost ferocity he strikes the dragon's head, as if sounding a death knell. You're quite a fan of Kulan, I see. A tragic ending, but your embellishments made it beautiful. You flattered me. I only ever met the blacksmith a few times. He was the first victim in the city's chaos, if you don't count Theo. Actually, I'm rather curious about something. The Dubliners who walked into the darkness, did they also bear the purple flames you mentioned? I'm sorry, but I couldn't say. But based on your story so far, I don't believe they would have. Corruption, smuggling, abuse of authority, they had many plans for the future. If you thought about it that much, you could probably come up with your own ending by now. But that was not the only incident to occur in the city. You said so yourself. He was but the first victim. So, if you insist on ending this here, the Red Dragon was certain those infected by the flames of death could not be saved. And so she declared to her people that the land will become Death's domain, and they would become her followers, accompanying her on a journey towards death. The corpse-like masses no longer had the strength to either consent or refuse. That night, flames rose high into the sky, illuminating the fields, and since then, no one has ever seen the Red Dragon or her followers again. What is it? Nothing. You can go now. There is obviously something. Since then, no one has ever seen the Red Dragon. Really? The outer glaze is toward the diamond wall, covered in newspapers no one has touched. Today's paper is there too, with a photo of the leader gracing the headlines. It declares she's currently in Oak Grove for some ceremony or other. Also, accompanying her on a journey towards death. When did that happen? Stories are free to go where they please. Free, sure, but that doesn't mean we get to twist the tale beyond recognition and load it off. Why ever not? Because you and I were Terrans. Our stories will reflect us, no matter how distorted they become. Oh? You still regard yourself as a Terran? I have been a Terran since the very first time I read a line penned by Seamus Williams. Why else would I have abandoned the warm armchairs of Castshire County's literature salon and run all the way to Tara and become a... You still regard yourself as a Terran? An extremely ominous thought flashes through the writer's mind, but he immediately rejects it. He looks at the newspapers again. The papers report only facts, even if they are edited. I'll just go ahead and ask, who sent you? I'm here under no one's orders. As you put it, I'm simply an uninterested reader who wishes to help you piece together the truth. Can you prove it? Now there's a conundrum. It'll be simple enough to prove somebody did send me, but the opposite. How do I prove someone's non-existence? The author takes another gulp of beer, despondently gripping his head. He knows it is too late to run, but he can still turn things around. He just have to be clever about it. I mulled it over, and you're right. It's just a story. I suppose I was a tad nervous. Apologies. I forgot to post the Twitter thing. Yay! How long has it been? 25 minutes! What a stupid idiot I am. Well, anyways. I mulled it over, and you're right. It's just a story. I suppose I was a tad nervous. Apologies. You do have a few quite unfinished tales as well. Perhaps we can join them together and find an ending true to both Saoirsí as it was and the Tara in your heart. So if you're ready, then for the next story, how about we talk about the dance in the mirror? The dance in the mirror? What? But no, this was not a matter of cleverness. As long as he is prudent and lets the shadow of the story cast by firelight arise and warp, he will definitely be fine. What the hell is this? In these weird woods, sometimes you'll find an empty shell left by certain kinds of fae, not the fairies! They always come in pairs too. The other empty shell is over here. When an operator deploys one, its twin will copy the range but facing the opposite direction. The copy's attacks will also deal burn damage. Huh? Make sure to use them when you find them. 7, 8, 9. For Tara. It's good. Hey, yo, little bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Oh. This stop as fuck. What? DOT? What? What the fuck is this? Secret cannot be attacked and blocks the vision of your units. Damn you. Yep. Fucked up. Wait. Just go red. More story? Yay!
Once there was a red dragon of pride who snubbed all companions, talking only to herself in the mirror from time to time. Once at Samhain, she was to host a grand banquet, and her mirrored self was to help. But the two could not appear together before the guests, or the reflection would perish. The reflection had no choice but to obey the dragon's will, She went and fetched the wakeman for the banquet. The wakeman rejected their invitation and told the reflection to desert. Still, the reflection returned to the lair on her own, only to find the banquet had already begun. The reflection hurried to hide in darkness beyond the bonfire. As the banquet went on, the guests somehow began to vanish, one by one. And the red dragon found and dragged her mirrored self out of the darkness, forcing the reflection to dance with her. The two kept dancing, so relentlessly that the reflection could not feel her toes. She asked for a little rest, but the red dragon was never satisfied.
Here, Luciany, the book you wanted, the sequel to the Steam Knights adventures. Why, you ask? Do I need a reason to do something for my beloved sister? But do you really need to read it? Do you really need to read a book you have no interest in it at all, but feel pressured by others our age to read? I do want to read it. Didn't you tell father you didn't want anyone asking you why a Victorian wouldn't enjoy stories about the Steam Knights? This book, did Dad ask you to buy it for me? Why do you ask? Because, how did you know? You're walking away from me, Luciany. I don't want you to be scared of me like everyone else. No, If me knowing what you told father is so scary, how about we dance together to calm you down? A dance? Really? Why not? With those words, Ivlana gracefully extends a hand towards her sister. But in Luciany's memories, even when her parents put on their favorite music, even when father shook his head to the melody, even when mother tapped her fingers to the beat, her sister would only sit perfectly still while beating an icy smile. She had never moved her body to any tune, not even once. Once you can keep up with me, you'll no longer have to worry about any book, request, or even friends or age. Eh? The unopened night novel falls to the ground, and the pleasant new book smells is now drowned by muddy water. She was still young then. She never imagined that achieving her desires could feel so heavy and bitter. She only remembers stumbling, turning away, ignoring what was reaching out to her. A soft and cold hand. Look, Shinny, the crowd is gone. You need no longer hide your identity. Do you still think of them as alive, even now? I only know that every Zaran's heart burned with a similar flame, and that ever since our ancestors first bent the knee to the Victorians, that flame has never gone out. That goes over all the townsfolk, as well as those who followed me back here. They all have the same fire, except that theirs has never been tainted by the shade of death. What a wonderful analogy, Luciany. Then let me ask you again, what will you do? Dye these flames in your own hue? I imagine you must have tried already. No matter who they are, once tainted by death, your flames can only render them into ash. So I have a proposal, Luciany. Kill me. And everyone in the city as well. If it bothers you how this will be recorded in history, then you can just say that I killed them, and that you merely lay them to rest. The people of Saoirsí are still alive, even if what animates their bodies is not life, but death. If they were truly devoid of even the faintest spark of life, they would have long since become one of those hollow, shambling corpses you have wandering about. Oh, they will. Eventually. No, they won't. I'd rather see the purple flames in them as a plague, one instigated by you. And you plan to find a cure for it? That's right. I want to cure you of it as well, Eblana. How wonderful. Wonderful? Yes, that's absolutely wonderful. Did you not notice? You aren't trying to run from me anymore. You're trying to cure me of all things. Come, dance with me, Luxini. The same dance I always invited you to. The one you always ran from. The art is so fucking beautiful. But what did you say? I asked you to dance with me. But before the final bar, be sure to pierce my heart with your spear. This plague is lethal and there is no cure. I do not question your resolve, but your efforts will be in vain. You have run from your fate long enough. From now Saoirsí's fate and yours too. It is not yet Samhain, but the boundary between life and death is more ambiguous than it has been in all of Taran history. Do you truly wish for Tara to become a kingdom of death? Luxini subconsciously turns her head away. The fierce purple flames still rage in the skeleton the hero Drake dragged all the way here. Cullen, now taken over by purple flames, briefly stands up before sinking back down to kneel. She cannot bear not to look at him, so she turns her gaze back to her sister's eyes, and the hand she has been offered for so many years. It is unclear if it's her imagination or a side effect of the purple flames depriving everything they touch of vitality, but the hand before her seems so pale and bloodless compared to the one in her memories. We speak of a city and the lives of countless people in Iblana. You cannot sum this up as a matter as simple as fate. Are you finished? I believe we spent enough time talking past each other. Iblana! Oh, but feel free to continue. If you so desire, I shall wait here for as long as you need me to. But do not try to take too long. You can afford to wait, yet that may not be true for others. You're right. You can afford to wait, but that may not be true for others. Alright, I'll dance your dance, until one of us falls and can dance no more. But I will not follow your lead, absolutely not. As you please. Thought you seemed to have misunderstood something, my dear Luciani. The one who cannot afford to wait is standing before you now. Cannot afford to wait? Luxini scrutinized her sister's face as she suddenly realized something entirely unrelated to their conversation. The other hand is indeed pale, and it is not just her imagination. Purple flame seems to weave together into an omnipresent cloak, giving Eglana her beautiful yet terrifying appearance. Yet they also fail to conceal the malady which seems to consume her beneath her pale white skin. She shouldn't be like this. She was never like this before. Iblana, are you? Are you alright, sister? A smile spreads across Iblana's face. The same old ice cold smile is always found there. This time it seems to bear some warmth, but this only highlights her conspicuous paleness. I appreciate your concert. Really, I do. After all those pathetic partings and painful reunions, to only know now, hear you asking if I'm well, it has truly been so long. Incidentally, I really do want to dance with you. I will, once I find a way to heal you. Very well, then I shall await you here. Ivlana strides toward the citadel, her footsteps so faint that they seem almost frail. Phew! Ooh, Red Dragon! Nemos! There was no one at the gates when I got back. I thought something must have happened. What's going on in the square? Red Dragon? What's that? Lakshmi is holding a small box in her arms. The dim night lights seem to make it harder than usual to see. I couldn't save Kulan. This was the only way for him to rest in peace, so he'd no longer have to suffer from the flames in the square. The nomad is silent for a long time until she finds a stone in the ground. She hurls it with all her strength towards the citadel, but the darkness of the night swallows it up, and it fails to even make a sound. It's already past curfew. Nemos, Bridget, let's just... No. Nemos reaches out to the wooden box, as if trying to brush non-existent dust off the lid. She suddenly recalls being rejected by her own people a few days ago, and the superfluous words she heard then. The Wakemen do not stand with the living, nor do we require their reverence, until, of course, they are dead. That is the tradition Dublin should be honoring. Still, I'm grateful you were at least willing to give me this whistle. I'll be going now. Wait, Nemos. You knew well that Samhain approaches and the Wakemen will be lacking in sacred instruments. Yet you still came. Did the Dubliners force you to? No, I came here of my own. Nemos, you haven't changed. You haven't changed one bit. You wait, mediate, and reconcile. Are you also like this in Saoirsí? Do you also serve the Red Dragon like this? I just don't want to see a situation that could have been improved deteriorate any further, or people who could have cooperated fighting each other. If conflict is inevitable, you will only ever sink deeper into the mire. The city has tainted you with its darkness, Nemos. So, the leader, the Red Dragon. Ivlana will never give Saoirsí true life. Is that right, Lushini? She says she couldn't. She actually doesn't like to lie, unless there are other circumstances. She's the leader of Tara, the one and only Red Dragon. Who could possibly be tying her hands? What's wrong, Nemos? You seem different. I get it. I finally get it, Your Highness Lushini. It seems that fire can in fact infect the living. Nemos? The people I once depended on turned out to be a swarm of selfish parasites. The leader I once believed in turned out to be an evil dragon who doesn't care if anyone else lives or dies. The people I once put my life on the line to protect became the reason my closest friend died. I can't even imagine what they would have done to him if that wicked dragon hadn't lit him up with her flames. Conan was right to ask what we will do once Samhain is over. What should I do? Other than revenge, there's nothing left for me either. As she utters these words, Lushini seems to fly ignite with the final Saoirsí and left untainted by the purple fire. Your Highness, will you regard me the same as the rest of the residents? As a servant of Ivlana? No, this deadly disease. It has ultimately infected even the last person in the city. If so, Your Highness, then I swear to you that I will aid you in this dance that has been forced on you, until the very end, until the wicked dragon's falls. I have heard your vow. Now, I must leave the city for a while. Come with me, Nemos. To the Wakemen? I have no hope of curing the flame here, so I thought we should seek aid from anyone who may be able to help. No, I can't go with you. I have no right to be there anymore. I'll stay in the city as long as the Red Dragon doesn't realize what's going on and tear me apart. I'll try my best to keep the situation from deteriorating. Todd, I appreciate if you could return this whistle for me. And Kulan too. Please give him a proper funeral. A proper funeral requires eulogies from friends and family, so I'll write one. Could you read it for me there? Alright. Here, it's done. I'll go with Reed. The dark boots aren't letting anyone in or out, but it should be smoother with us too. Now, Bridget, you should stay too. I need your help. Reed? I'll be fine by myself. That works, but... Nemos, you're so different now. I guess this is what vengeance does to a person.
戦士、あの魔物を食べられるかな?
Laios, god fucking damn it. Keep your fangs out of this. Please bring me the other red dragon. Other than that, I ask for nothing more. Drowned in fire. Was that another trick of the shadows? This isn't the right way. I'm going in circles. I can't see the sky. How long has it been? How far do I still have to go? Well, I'm in the dark woods at least. The mist and noise Bridget was talking about didn't keep me out. Tricky face, shadows pointing the wrong way, foul beasts that trip you with branches. That's all more or less the same as when I was bringing Moran and the others back. The trees are too tall and the leaves too thick. They block out the sky, making the life here different from outside. This is the right path. I am the heart of the dark woods now. This scenery seems different from before. Where did the red and gold of autumn go? Why does it look like this? Black mist? So the words are rejecting me after all? Luxury grabs her weapon tightly. If Nemos was right, and Dublin never returned after leaving the city, then they were most likely swallowed by the mist. The most. Bleh. But it shows no sign of aggression. It simply lingers. Does it reject me? No. It's closer to indifference. Disappointment? Why? There is no answer except the rustling of leaves. Lakshmi shakes her head and cautiously goes around the mist, choosing a path that looks like it has a light at the end. The mist remains indifferent to her passage. The fate that the light in leading travelers astray are nowhere to be seen. Another dead end. No time to waste here. I'm sorry, but I'll have to burn my way through. You're overthinking it. Who's there? Oh, take a guess. You? How could it be? You're the gentleman from the city. I wanted to ask you something, but you... Indeed, hardly the most amicable of partings. Since then, I've been following and watching you for a while now. Consider it my way of reflecting on myself. I'll admit you're not quite what I thought, but this is no time for small talk. Do not burn the trees. It should be enough to illuminate them with your fire. See for yourself what they really are. What they really are. The leaves are razor sharp. The brambles are hard, and the branches have a metallic gleam. What is this? That's not important. What is important is that your fire can burn through it. Now follow me. Hurry, before the black mist changes his mind. We can talk later, but if that thing is in a bad mood, there won't be anything left to bury when it's done with you. Isn't that a dead end? Or do you put so much faith in what you see? Just listen and move. This is the path I took when we came to know Saoirsí. So this is where those trials led? If you don't mind me asking, are you on the Forest Fae? Don't be ridiculous, I have nothing to do with them. The woods, though, centuries have passed, but it's hardly changed at all, other than the black mist. Ruins the view, really. We'll be out of the dark woods soon. Now, could you? This is really... What's happening? Look behind you. Reed! Reed, we're here! The refugees appear on the in the well-lit edge of the woods. What happened in the city? It's like the black mist got angry at the moment you entered it, cutting it off from the outside. It's been days since anyone went into the dark woods. A few people were hunting on the outskirts when they heard sounds from within, and saw what looked like fire. Whenever something similar happened before, the Wakemen told us not to approach the woods. This time, though, we recognized your fire. We could hardly ignore it. You shouldn't have come. It's dangerous here. Then you shouldn't have either, not on your own. We all learned our lesson about letting you go off alone after waiting for you in the marshes outside Londinium. We trust you, so please trust us back. Thank you. You're welcome. Let's go back to camp. Sir, would you... And he just disappears. Like a father going to fetch some milk for their kids. Or some cigarettes. Who are you talking to? Is there someone else with you? The red dragon turns around, but her uninvited companion has already vanished without a trace, like the dew under the morning sun. Wait, give me a second. I just need to check if I'm forgetting something or not. No, it's fine. Thank you for providing refuge for these people. Nemos entrusted them to us. We simply did our part. On behalf of the Wakemen, I promise that we will not reveal your existence to anyone unaware. And you have seen with your own eyes that your people are safe. Now it is time for you to leave. What do you mean? Is she not welcome here? Neither are your people, Moran. Whenever two red dragons met, endless conflict awaits. If you insist on involving yourself in it, then we can no longer offer you sanctuary. How could you? This is how we always been. The Wakemen neither start nor end conflicts. The disputes of the living are not our concern. We watch over only the souls of the departed. If you are truly the noble and compassionate leader Morgan imagines you to be, you will not drag these innocents into your battle, Red Dragon. This isn't a battle between two red dragons. I came to seek your help on behalf of the people of Saoirsí. Every battle has its reasons. It's not an excuse. Red wouldn't do that. Excuse or not, the disputes of the living are none of our concern. A hard-learned lesson with those bitter fruits we continue to taste to this day. Now, Liv, what if I'm here to ask you to hold a funeral? A funeral? In that case, the Wakemen will welcome you, but for that, and only that. Now tell me the name of the departed, their deeds in life, and present remains. His name was Kulan. He was a blacksmith. Kulan? How did he die? The purple flames of death took both his life and his will. Not even my flames can help him now. Then why is it that not a single denizen of Saoirsí has come to us to request a funeral since the city has become independent? So it transpires that the first Saoirsí to be mourned since the end of the war was not taken by war at all. So I weave the straw into a ring like this. Yes, then adorn it with these flowers, and the wreath is complete. I remember when the farmers put a wreath on your head, praying for a good harvest next year. Feels like old times. I miss that. Are you not happy here? I'd rather enjoy it myself, but the others might find it stifling. The life of a wake man is almost like a self-punishment after all. What's the word for it again? Asceticism? No alcohol, no overeating, no fancy foods. Can't even laugh out loud. They wake up before sunrise and sleep after midnight, and everything in between is some ritual or other. At least they don't expect the same from us, but there's no avoiding them when we have to help out on the farms and stuff. I've practically forgotten how to laugh. Huh? Moran's the only one who goes out of her way to talk to them. She's learning something new every day. Might be how they tie certain nuts, might be how they estimate the age of a tree. Compared to the wake men in the tales though. Your Highness? Ma'am? I did not expect to find you here working with them. It has always been like this. Should we excuse ourselves? No, I simply came to confirm the facts of the departed's life for the purpose of the ritual. Please tell me, what happened to Kulan? I will tell you all that I saw as I saw it. I hope it makes you feel something. What? What?
こんなにたくさんの人と出会うなんてね。
糸がこうも顔に出るのは感心しませんね。合図など考えてはいかがでしょう。合図など考えてはいかがでしょう。
I missed.
その誘いに乗ってやろう。最悪のタイミングで来ちゃったね。せっかくの買い物に枯れ枝を集めてくるね。暗くなる前枯れ枝を集めてくるね。暗くなる前に焚き火を起こしとかないと。
Okay.
作戦開始。見えた。指先で触れるだけで、その意志は泥人形のようにきしゃべるだろう。
No. Double inflamed chassis soldiers. I see. If I put this here, it doesn't loop around. If I put this here, well, it shares the...
君たちの命は私が守る。指先で触れるだけで、
その意志は泥人形のようにひしゃげるだろ
う。私からの情報には随時ご留意ください。
う。どこを目指す気をそれ
盾の後ろに集まれ。
我が炎に恩命は枯れた。
あらない必要はない。私に従えばいい。
合図に視線の動き一
What?
つに価値があります。
音に注意してください。あれは呪術を乗せるのに最良の媒体です。
指先で触れるだけでその意志は泥人形のようにひしゃげるだろう。
Shit.
魂が縛られる感覚を脳に刻んでおくことです。これはあなた方にとって最も得難い教育なのですから。
水場が近いから水場が近いタイミングで来ちゃった。
There's a lot. There's a lot. I didn't expect so much.
僕のもそうなのに。
見えた。指先で触れるだけでその意志は泥人形のようにひしゃげる。
あなた方のプロファイルはこれです、ね。
Nope. Reset.
はい、抹消完了です。
慌てるな。みんな俺の後ろについてこい。こっちに抜け道を用意してある。
この先戦場で泣き言は吐かないでね。
There is shield. What the fuck is shield on wall? Appears when your operators are deployed in the adjacent footage. Ah, but okay. This is shield on wall. Okay, I see.
私からの情報には随時ご留意ください。情報戦はすでに始まっています。
So where the fuck do I put Eblana? Here?
これがお前の判断。
糸がこうも顔に出るのは感心しませんね。
I suppose.
どうか私を信じて。我が炎に恩烈火の中では恐れし魂が踊り狂うだろう。戦闘中お前たちの命に火種をまいた。
盾の後ろに集まれ。
Well, she has a line for herself, but she cannot heal anything.
ご指示をどうぞ。
Yay! Doubling on doubling. Oh.
烈火の中では恐れし魂。
表情の動き、
お前たち身を焦がす苦しみはほんの一瞬。戦闘
What's
準
her
備。
range?
戦闘準備。
Oh, okay. I put her to the right.
斬首のみが徘徊する。
了解。目を閉じ。
慣れ親しんだ環境であるほど危険が潜むものです。
死者の喧騒にある終わりの名は忘却
先にそのように軽薄な態度で歴史に向き合わないでください。
見えた。 者の喧騒にある終わりのない忘却という。
That was better. A lot better. A lot more better. I have already dismissed all the servants in the citadel. These footsteps, then? Your Highness. Ah, it's you. Did you need something? You aren't going to ask how I returned. No, I won't. You came back, and that's all that matters, my loyal servant. Besides, I have a fairly good idea of what sort of guest you can bring me. Has the curfew started? Yes, no. Then you could say that my orders have been followed. Failure? Now Saoirsí is here. I am here. What failure? Escape. The deadline is a win. Surely the Black Mist remembers this, even if it's hardly known for being a good listener. Unsurprising, disappointing, unacceptable. Am I meant to understand something from these few words? Or perhaps you two prefer the directness of arts and destruction to the imprecision of language. No sooner that the words leave Eblana's lips than gleaming branches thrust forth from the dark mist, reaching for her throat. At the same time, her spear penetrates the thick mist. Purple fire is faintly visible from within. She could burn it away to nothingness with a sob. But the branches never find Eblana's throat, and her purple flames never ignite. Samhain. By the time the sun rises on the day after Samhain, the outcome will be plain for all to see. So, why don't you dispense with these meaningless bluffs? Eblana's spear still impales the mist, but the branches before her throat disappear a moment later, as do the flames at the tip of her spear. The dark mist dissipates. Your Highness, you're still here? Do you need something else? Is this about Devlin? There are only the two of us here. I will permit you to speak that word again, my most loyal servant. Thank you, but there is no need. Spectres cite nothing but spectres. Even if it helped found the nation, there is no place for a ghost in the storybooks. But I worry about my colleagues who stayed behind that day, as I did. Where are they? Could that mean you harm? No need to worry, even if they were. There is no reason for you to risk any staying here. I saw a scene of chaos on my way back. It was bedlam. People were fighting over the tiniest things. Some things nothing at all, while others seemed to be stuck where they stood like statues, just like the specters who fought the Victorian with us. Will they fade into darkness too? This is not Saoirsí, the Red Dragon Lair, the capital of Tara. Anything that happens here will have repercussions across the nation. No, it won't. You don't sound convinced, Your Highness. At the end of the day, I have just one question. One question I pray you will answer. Very well, I forgive your impudence. Your Highness Eblana, that future you promised Dublin, you promised Tara, that future where all Tarans could freely write their own dreams. Was it all a lie? The brigadier cannot stop himself from trembling. The fear that had lurked in his heart for days overcomes him. It is not because he fears his own end. He is not afraid of being swallowed by the dark mist like his colleagues, or if invoking the Red Dragon's wrath. He fears that he will hear an answer he dare not consider. It was true, every word of it. Your Highness, I have answered your question, Brigadier. The Red Dragon's voice seems ethereal, feeble even, but it leaves no room for questioning. It is the voice that has led man to victory countless times, and so he slowly strengthens his back. Then I trust you. Or perhaps you simply have no other choice. Often have you chosen a path that seemed baffling, impossible even, but it always ends up leading us closer to our dream. Of that I have no doubt. Such deep trust is indeed worthy of my gratitude. However, I do not require you to maintain order within Saoirsí. If you manage to return from the Dark Woods, then you should return there now. Until Sunwind has passed. Or I stepped into the Dark Woods one morn. I stepped into the Dark Woods one morn, calling to the mist of fall. Your Highness, do you hear the sound coming from beyond the woods? Hardly a day has passed since you left. Fine work, Lushini. Is that what's been happening in the city? Reed, your sister, what is she planning? I don't know. Someone once told me that her plans would only ever be beneficial to Tara. Now, so I can trust neither her nor the one who made that promise. Are you still not going to help her, wake woman? She came for a funeral, and we will only accept her for that. I have learned of the deeds of the departed. Bring the nuts and reds and come outside. The funeral is about to begin. The people set aside their differences and stand up in silence. I stepped into the dark woods one morn, calling to the mist of horror. I trod upon the road, heading out to war. Paths are singing, nor battle drums a roar. Only the bells behind me through dew and fog there is no soar. The wakemen sing softly, each attending to their own duty. Some adorn the coffin with nuts and wreaths, some lay firewood and kindling around it. Some distribute candles to the attending refugees as they continue to sing. Tiny lights begin to sway through the camp. Lakshmi has a candle too, which she carefully lifts in front of her chest. Excuse me? Go ahead. I didn't know the departed and don't really have much to say. But where I grow up, people talk freely at funerals. Certainly, this is how Tarans honor the departed. Life should be celebrated even after its end. The joy of the living is consolation to the dead. You are free to talk amongst each other. I also made some snacks. Please feel free to share them. We will also provide refreshments later. However, we must request that you exercise restraint, considering that Mr. Cullen died before his time and under unfortunate circumstances. We must also ask you to follow our instructions during the fire returning ceremony. Understood. Is this how your folks hold funerals, Moran? We didn't have all these rites and ceremonies. All we did was keep watch through the night. No clue what this fire returning thing is either. Guess we just follow their instructions. Have you ever been part of a ceremony like this, Reed? I see. You mean Lakshmi has found the Wakeman. The hero's funeral has begun. I stepped into the dark woods one more, calling to the mist of horde. I trod upon the road, heading out toward. Do you know the song? You already know the answer. I led the young into battle with it more than a few times. Who is it? Who is singing? Why is it that I still hear that song here at the side of the old capital, even after escaping the dark woods? Or am I still stuck in the woods? No, the sound is coming from the furnace at the center of the ruins. Such a beautiful song. No pipes are singing, nor battles drums roar. Only the bells behind me, through dew and fog, their rings do soar. I should go back. Now I see what I truly want. Besides, do I really deserve to escape Saoirsí? Here, Emma, today's bread. Thanks for sharing your food in times like this. You shared with me before, just returning the favor. But why do you keep staring at the blade in my hand like that? Control yourself. Control yourself. She's Emma, the one who shared bread with you. You must help her. You must. I'm fine, Emma. I just meant to say, you have been bedridden for so long. There will be tough times ahead. No pipes are singing, nor battle drums are over. Why are you singing that? Someone's singing. In the distance. Friends of the departed, please present your elegy before the fire returning ceremony begins. Read. I have a eulogy here, written by Nemos. May I read it? Of course. Go ahead. Dear Kulan. A letter? Kulan, perhaps it won't be long before I join you. Kulan, perhaps it won't be long before I join you. Before I become a slave of the purple flame, before I turn to ash. Perhaps there won't be anyone to free me from an afterlife of eternal torment. But I have never forgotten what you said to me. You said you wanted to be a hero. You asked me to let you become one. You said Saoirsí needed a hero for the post-war days. One who belonged only to us, neither Dublin nor soldier. You said that nearly everyone in the city had lost something important in the war. Be it a partner, a child, or a future. Without a hero, an exemplar to understand them and fight for their rights, one would also set them right should they go astray. Without that, they wouldn't have anything to hold on to when the war ends, when they have no one left to hate. I agree and assented to your request. You took Seo in and helped the people who lost their livelihoods. You thought everything was on the right path, and so you reposed the statue. You became fully immersed and took on a great burden. By the time you realized, it was too late. Now it is my turn to carry this burden, one too heavy for a single person to bear. Now is my turn to carry this burden, one too heavy for any single person to bear. Farewell, Kulan, Slan lad, or should I say, Slang of foil. May we meet again in the warm flames. As she finished, a flame is thrown into the kindling surrounding the coffin, igniting the firewood. The crowd gathers around the bonfire, following the instructions of the wake man. Witness that the departed has found peace and flames. He shall no longer wander the mortal realm. Place your candle as close to the fire as possible, or throw it in directly. Return the fire to the departed. If you have anything to say to the departed, say it aloud to the flame, be it praise or reproach. They are the memories that will console the departed at your hand. Once you have returned the fire, please remain to keep watch over his soul until the fire has gone out. Let us begin. Slanlet, may you find rest, stranger, deceiver and hero. Moran bends down and places her candle by the fire. The leaking flames swallow it in an instant, almost burning her hand. Do you want to come closer to the fire, Reed? If there's anyone here who doesn't deserve to pay respects to Cullen, it would be me. You couldn't have saved him. Moran? There was no place for him in the Red Dragon's lair from the moment he made the choice to truly become a hero. You should return the fire to him. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Let the dead rest with our memories as life goes on. Return the fire. Let the dead rest with our memories as life goes on. While Luciani is lost in thought, the others continue to return their fire and then sit down some distance from the bonfire, until she is the only one left with a candle in her hand. She walks forward in silence and tosses the candle into the blazing bonfire. The dead are gone. All their ambition, obsession, realization, and desperation turn to fading smoke and silent ash in the flames.
ドクター、あんたとずっとつるんでるから、俺傭兵よりも強いんじゃねって勘違いしそうだわ。あんま俺に調子乗らせないで。
Will this bat really let me to him?
電池で頭ぶん殴られそうだから。
And such. So you want to go to the city even to perform a fire return ceremony? What you have described is highly unusual. We cannot simply take your word that the residents are no longer among the living. Besides, the fire returning ceremony is just that, a ceremony. Do not expect it to be anything more than that. Very well, then. You may return, Wake Woman. Thank you for your help. You intend to go back to Saoirsí even without us? Moran and the others have settled in well, and I have done what Nemos entrusted to me, so my work here is done. Take care, Your Highness. I will. The Red Dragon sets out in the direction for whence she came. Everything that happened yesterday seems but a distant shadow now, but also a tiny spark of flame. Return the fire. Have you made up your mind to go to your death? The stranger? Good timing, sir. May we talk? If you will help me. Did your Red Dragon history lessons ever teach you about a poor wretch by the name of Labriatak? Excuse me? I'll take that as a no. After returning to the palace for the first time in years, he never even had the chance to see his brother before the guards took him away and plunged a sword through his chest. I know the story. Then why are you so eager to follow in his footsteps and have a story remember you as a fool? Live, you have seen your sister, and you're still alive. In that, you have already achieved more than he ever did. The story of Labriata and Aelil is not the story of me and Eblana. Fine. Let's say I was willing to hear you out. What did you want to talk about? The city's fire returning ceremony. I just wanted to find someone to help with the preparations, but you seem to know a lot about the history and tales of Tara. I was thinking you might be able to help. History? Tales? We can talk on the way. Come. But that's not the way to the Darkwoods. Just follow me. It worked out for you in the woods, didn't I? The ruins of the palace? I have been here before. It's dangerous. The regime-rich environment is. You said you wanted history and tales. What better place in Tara than this ancient Tengai expletive palace? The what palace? Never mind. I appreciate your help in the woods, but I have important business to attend to. I don't have time to. And what's this important business? Dying for nothing? Sure, you are different from your sister. That dragon's flames may be cursed, but her personality is as typical as they come. Arrogant, leaving no room for any other boys. You may be better, but I'm different from my sister, but she's not who you say she is. But however different you may be, conflict is in the nature of the red dragons, even if you were merely dragged into it. And there is only ever one outcome. Only one may emerge alive. One of you will die sooner or later, so what's the hurry? Have patience, young dragon, we are almost there. We come here for this altar. Altar? You mean that thing in the middle? Isn't that the furnace? The furnace which fused together the weapons of every Terran soldier and overturned the fate of the dynasty. The furnace from which failing soldiers were reborn. That's what you call it today, isn't it? Far more important than just another altar, to be sure. But an altar is an altar, even if it's a little bigger than the others. It was based on the ceremonial stone circle used to coronate the King Gale, and the palace was built around it. Whenever an old red dragon died, this is where the fire was returned to them. The fire? Returned? What you saw back on those wood brains camp. Could I give them credit? They managed to remember all that, even centuries later. Fire returning wasn't just about a bonfire back in the days of. By the time of the old hag migrated, it was enough for the siblings of the heir to the title of King Gale to put their hands in the fire and get a few blisters. Go back even further, so and the siblings will have been burned alive together. Or so they say, there's no hard evidence. Now you have gone ever paler. He flicks his hand and a speck of purple fire flies forth from his slave, joining the same purple fire in the altar. The flames breathe quietly, like an infant in its mother's embrace. Your flame is purple too? No, wait, you're a Draco? Could you be? Awfully slow, aren't ya? Well, it's too late to run. Put your hand in. What? You want now Saoirsí to return its fire, didn't you? Put your hand in. The red dragon falls silent, then stretches out her hand to touch the flame in the furnace. As expected, it is not warm, but to her surprise, it does not feel cold either. Now I brought you here to see something. The tragedy of Tara, the ill repute of the red dragons. It is simply the cruel cycle of fate repeating itself again and again. Like your sister, I was an aberration that breathed the flames of death. It is not my intention to disrespect the dead, nor could I even if I wanted to. But I wanted to show you the fate of those who die upon this land. Is this where we should begin? Understandable. Of all recent events, it is the most significant. Your sister was right. Those who have touched the flames of death are beyond help. Yet the fire should not have spread so readily. What hatred did it take for the Dracos to once again sire an ill-omened aberration, the first in 600 years? And him. If you ask me, he slept in far too late. Could hardly drag himself out of bed by sunset. Of course he became the sacrifice. Even you should not expect of the dead so lightly. Do not justify it as a sacrifice. You can only say that because you have seen too little. Those feelings will pass soon enough once you're used to it. See, here comes another sacrifice. Nemus. Emma. The Victorians who killed you have been chased out. The Victorians who killed you have been chased out. The last Victorian bastard died before my eyes. In a sense, your sister's dreams did become reality. The Tyrants have risen and the Victorians have fallen. Simple, direct, satisfying. Were you one of the bystanders too? Don't get caught up on that, child. You know what I am. This I don't recognize. Explain. It was a war. There are always wars. Be specific. Who did she incinerate? And what land did she set her sights on? Victoria. Evelana wanted to take Tara back from the Aslans. That was the conclusion to that war. The Aslans? Those conceited bastards. But is she not facing Asalkas? Never mind. The Lions were the one who stole Victoria. That's all I need to know. I don't need you to tell me what this is, just as I can tell its expression beneath the mask. The satisfaction and joy that only appeared on a red dragon's visage in the face of certain death. No, that wasn't joy. It was the opposite. The opposite. Maybe you were simply gravely injured and started hallucinating on the brink of death. But as I said, this is simply repeating the past. See, it is my ride on wheels now, and the master of the realm has changed hands, but what's inside never changes. What is this? Your home? Where did you learn to point your blades at each other? Who is this man? The Earl of Warwick, or foster father? Evelana said he helped Taran see hope, a hope they could see but never reach. That all he ever did was drive thirsty travelers mad with mirages. In his hand he held a delicate thread. On one end were the Tarans who had discovered their name, on the other lay the oppressors who had trodden upon them for so long. That thread was my sister and I. Looking back, perhaps he was the first to be afflicted by the purple flames. Not only do you sympathize with your sister, but you also know her well. No wonder you're so lost to kill her. But I have no intention of becoming like her, nor will I simply allow myself to be killed. These events, this story you had me recall. What are you trying to tell me? That the story of Tara is nothing but the continuous accumulation and the combination of ruins of the past. What you have seen, I have too. Nothing new can be found within. What I see are not ruins, but the source of the flames. The flames in Saoirsí are indeed my sister's fire, but they are also the great sorrow behind the bloodshed, left with nowhere to go. It was the war? No. The pain, the oppression, the things taken from them, which began long before the war. That's what lit the fire in their hearts. My sister shaped the sorrow into hatred, which scorched the fields of Tara and drove out the Victorians. However, with the vengeance to close the sorrow, the same fire has come back to burn them, burning away everything they have, until they are nothing but a walking dead. I find summary, child, But do you really think that returning the fire would solve all the city's problems? It's the only path before me. True. But how do you tread it? Come, we have seen your story. Now see mine. Don't cry now, it's just a cloud beast. But I raised Greyclaw from when she was a baby. They say your fire is different, deity. You do not heal the living, but instead bring the dead back to life. They don't come back, it's just an empty shell. Even if it's just an empty shell, please, deity, I just want to hear Greyclaw's voice again. And so the impulsive dragon let his daughter flee, get the better of his judgment. After a few months, strange things began to happen, not just to Cloud Beast, but to all the beasts of the pasture. Burden beasts no longer ate grass, zesty beasts no longer gave milk. The old refused to die, the young refused to live, and bare skeletons devoid of flesh began to roam the pastures. As the purple fire spread through the hearts, the red dragon was forced to leave the pasture with his people. He made the same mistake many times through his brief existence. The purple fire spread through the hearts? What about it? Your own dear sister dared to burn people with the same fire. Now that's crazy. How was the fire extinguished? We'll find out soon enough. This is the citadel in Saoirsí? That same corridor? No, but your mistake is understandable. We simply took a large step back in time. This is how the palace you currently stand in looked 600 years ago. It's incredible how stonemasons centuries hence managed to perfectly recreate it in this Saoirsí of yours. So what happened here? Here, huh. Labradach, the fool, he made too many mistakes, the likes of which you have already seen. He grew weak, he felt his end coming. On the eve of Samhain, he came to see the brother he had not seen for 20 years, bearing the finest gifts for his somatic life will allow. He even convinced the druid of the city, who oversaw the festival ceremonies, to take him to his brother. Touched by his familial love, they led him into the city. But he failed to realize when his guide silhouette, voice, and demeanor changed, not until it was too late. He was taken to this very corridor and... I doubt that Ailil, who gave the order to assassinate his brother, was on that balcony on the other side of the floor. For my eyes were wide open until the very end, but I never saw his fire through the gaps. Where did it all go wrong? Was he angry that the priest continued to treat me as royalty? Did he consider me living without a word 20 years earlier a betrayal? Or was it someone else who wanted me dead and he simply had no choice? I will never know. But in this brief, swift act of violence, there was only one thing that I had long known, that I have never doubted. A red dragon never forgives. The hatred of the dragon is even longer than the history of Tara. But there is more I want to tell you. After I died, Ali ordered my coffin dragged through the city, for all to see the end that befell me. And so purple fire raged through every pasture I had stayed at with my clan. Life turned its back on all who touched it, only death remained. 7 days later, the priest returned my fire to me at a clearing outside the dark woods, and only when the fire returned to me was extinguished did the purple flames in the pastures begin to subside. It was only then that the last vestige of my consciousness that remained in the flames after death faded into darkness. All living things that touched the flames, people or beasts, were turned to ash. Your sister spoke true. The flames will continue to spread as long as she lives. But she is a typical red dragon. She is not so noble as to give up her life to save those who have yet to survive. If she is inviting you back, then it's certainly a trap. Run, call for help, yell, find someone who's her equal to extinguish the endlessly spreading flames. That is the only way. But what if she has already decided that I'm the only one worthy to dance with her? What if I can't abandon the lives in the city to their fates, as long as there is any chance of saving them? So you'll return the fire to someone who's still alive? Yes. And what if that doesn't work? Regardless, I'm going back, no matter what. Silence, and then lotion hears aside. I suppose stubbornness and stupidity really are hereditary.
まるでキャンプしに来た子供のようで大変結構。皆さんは注意されなければ自覚を持てないのでしょう。
What the fuck is that? A fairy! Again!
早急に相手が
You bastard!
探り出します。
You fairy bastard!
これがお前の判断か。
あなた方の動きはすべて手に取るようにわかりますよ。
Oh yeah, I cannot hit
戦闘
the...
準備を。どうか私を信じて。
Ah! What the
情
fuck?
報戦はすでに始まっています。
I do not like the fairy. What the incredible fuck?
その意志は泥のよ
はあ
うにひしゃげるだろう。
What happened? What the fuck just happened? Huh?
今回の旅ではこんなにと
指先で触れるだけでその意志は泥人形のようにひしゃげるだろう。
私からの情報には随時ご利用
Ah! Savannah! No! What the fuck?
どうか私を信じて。
まずは肉食の魔物の
No!
分じゃないか。
Okay.
完全なる計画にはあらゆる失敗への対策を含んでいる
So this is the real
想定済みの事
the
態
real mechanics with the line of vision and such.
おっとこれらの情報も
Fine.
立証しなければ
Fine. It's better than I expected.
まるでキャンプしに来た子供のようで大変結構。皆さんは注意されなければ自覚を持てないのでしょうか。情報す表情の動き一つでボロが出るのですよ。
その誘いに乗ってやろう。
警告する必要はない。直接かかれ。反応する隙を与えるなよ。
空気が乾燥してるな。
いや何でもありません。
命は軽くお前たちの命に火種をまいた。
Ah!
まず
You!
は肉食の魔物の糞がないか確かめよう。
見えた。指先で触れるだけでその意志は
What the
泥
fuck?
人形のようにひしゃげるだろう。
こんにちは。ちょっとした調査なので長いはしません。ご安心。
慣れ親しんだ環境である
あー
危険が潜むものです。
入り組んだ状況だ。ここ
What?
の方がよく見渡せる。
What?
慌てるな。みんな俺の後ろについてこい。こっちに抜け道を用意してある。
What the fuck is going on? Ash creation, ember awakened by the dark woods, born in a gust of wind and given a terrible visage by the fey murmurs. It uses its appearance to protect this forest that has accepted it. Cannot be blocked. Cannot be blocked. Attacks two enemies simultaneously. The two natures reveal when inside the attack range of your units. So I need a tank, and Underflow is not gonna cut it. Basling.
作戦中は
Boy.
あなたのタクトを指し示すままに。
支援の仕事は任せてください。
Let's get Mitten out and get Reed in.
戦火が荒野を焼き尽くす。
モルマミコのとお願いします。
出発だ。より多くのムクロの山を築きに行こうか。
水場の地区早く終わらせてもらえない？冷えた夜ご飯食べたくないんだけど。
その誘いに乗ってやろう。
行くのは私だけでいいよ。大勢だと現地の人たちに敵意を持たれるかもだから。
どうか私を信じて。
見えた。月下の中では恐れし魂が踊り狂うだろう。
まずは消毒から。カレーダーを集めてくるね。
私からの情報には随時ご利用です。
Shit, rabbit. To hell with you.
適切なタイミングで演奏に加わりますよ。
Okay.
死者の喧騒になる終わりの忘却と
水場の地区
Poor guy didn't fucking
早く終
die.
わらせてもらえない？冷えた夜ご飯食べたくないんだけど。
Fucking exploded.
我が炎に指先で触れるだけでその意志は泥人形のようにひしゃげるだろう。
私はダブリンだ。
私はダブリンだ。
月下の中では恐れし魂が踊り狂うだろう。
Okay. This is far enough. We are already at the Wakeman camp. Your sister roused me from my slumber. You could always return me to it with your own flames if you want. Read! A golden-haired perro leaps off the back of the burden beast and rushes toward the red dragon. The burden beast is dragging an improvised cart with numerous long wooden boxes staked upon it. Bridget? What are you doing here? Are those coffins? Yeah, coffins. Nemo says to bring them to the Wakeman. Are they still in the ruins? Say, is there someone with you? I can smell the same burning stink, and I could swear I heard you talking just now. No, I'm alone. These are dead folks. The type who'd pull their own arms out of the sockets to bite at their imaginary enemies if you grab their hand. Along with the poor wretches they tore to pieces. And see, Nemos found him in the end. It's almost like this was the natural order of things. The bonfires will be burning brightest when night falls on Samhain. The red dragon looks towards now Saoirsí and sees a faint shadow in the distance, painting the silhouette of purple flames. We'll be out of coffins if this keeps up. I hope Brigitte made it out of the city, and that the mist in the woods is thin enough for her to follow the trail. Blasted, Colan left a few Yunus weapons in his house. I can't let anyone see them. And these fuel explosives? Her Highness Lotion might find a use for them. No, what's the point with every servant in the citadel has already been afflicted with the purple flames? Besides, the greedy red dragon has already sent them away. Almost as if she's preparing for a showdown with Her Highness. Or setting a trap? Who's there? Rory, what are you doing here? You are Nemos? Yes, I'm going to throw the Colan's effects. If this isn't urgent, could I ask you to... Traitor. Have you gone mad? Oh, silly me. Of course you have. We all have. Traitor. I still can't bring myself to kill them, even if they might as well be dead already. I better drag this fellow back home. Could do without them wanting attention. Nemos? Don't mind me, I'll be on my way. What's that in your hand? Oh, nothing. No, if you'll excuse me. That necklace, it was a gift from Niels to Emma. I gave her bread. That's way more valuable than jewelry in times like this. She gave it to me. Did she now? A necklace she never takes off. It's none of your business. Nemos, you stayed behind? I thought that the Dubliners left the city. Don't tell me you're one of those living statues now who refuse to move or talk. And might be soon. Why did you bring them up? Someone begins tonight, so we went to the houses of the missing people and found plenty of good stuff for the party tonight. Someone? Party? About Kulan? Well, he was already on his last legs by then, and I didn't really. Let's not talk about that. Look at all the stuff. It'd be a night to remember. The woman shows Nemos her bag, revealing a bottle of curded sea's milk, a few long seins, sprouted potatoes, and several bird bones. Just wait for me, Nemos. Kulan, we'll have a fantastic Samhain. Only when the woman has already disappeared around the corner does Nemos remember who she is. A villager who once lived on the outskirts of Saoirsí. 2 years ago, the Victorians took her father away while investigating Dublin. The autumn harvest had just ended, and she had been preparing to celebrate the harvest festival. What Luciani hears about the situation in the city exceeds her wildest imagination. I must go back, now. Wait for me. I'll come with once I deliver these folks to the Wakeman. Are you sure about this, Bridget? It's dangerous in the city. If I fail, there may be no survivors. True, but I still gotta go. Why? Because it wasn't like this before. The city folk never had much to spare, but they always had a cup of water for me when I delivered their letters. They didn't see me as one of their own, but didn't walk away with a sneer when I told them nomad legends either. They listened. And they definitely didn't bite, claw, and punch up people like they do these days, that they Walking Dead straight from a story. Who will the nomads deliver letters for if the city dies for real? Moran? The second shipment of bodies has arrived from Saoirsí. I must make the preparations. At this rate, it won't be long until the 3rd, 4th, or more. Are we really going to ignore it? As I have told you many times, the Wakemen do not exist. It is not our decision to make. Are the Saoirsian not Tarans too? Why are we standing on the side watching, when the Taran capital is marching towards destruction? I know you came back with the Red Dragon. You fear she will meet the same fate as Labre attack. But we were the ones to send Labreatak to his doom. You, we are descended from the priest that once officiated the ceremonies of Tara's royal palace. Our ancestors, moved by Labreatak, welcomed him back into the palace when Ailey's stance was ambivalent. The flames of death that spread through the plains of Tara were only extinguished 7 days after his death, when our ancestor finally returned his fire to him. Then they left the palace on their own accord, going into self-exile on Labreatak, former pastors, so as to never forget the lesson, and thus the Wakemen were born. I'm sorry, but red is in Labreatak, and history is not a cycle that repeats itself endlessly. If it were, Reed would have already died in that citadel. Even her tyrant of a sister was the one to free Tara from Victorian rule. Fates are often alike, but always differ when it matters the most. Fates are often alike, but always differ when it matters the most. What a wonderful tagline for the cover of the book. Surely this one is destined for the bestseller charts. Assuming, of course, that you are ever able to finish the story. I've never intended to profit off of it. Oh, you will, if not in money, then in fame. The basis of the story, where it happened. There are more than enough reasons that isn't my story to tell. Besides, what happens next? That's what I wanted to ask. Did Lakshmi go back? From this point on, what I have seen, what I believe, and what I have said all contradict one another, which is why I've lost sight of the ending. Feel free to take up the challenge, if you're up to it. Give this dance between the dragon and her reflection whatever ending you please. Oh, it is all the same if I tell it myself? Of course, ma'am, as you will it. The rider raises his mug, which is almost empty now, and toasts the woman before him. Once again, he swallows the bitter brew, half expecting the sweet aftertaste that he knows will never come. The day I spoke you got so polite all of a sudden. It makes me feel impertinent for ever expressing the question. No, but I must make it abundantly clear that everything we have discussed until now is no more than idle chatter. You don't understand, don't you? The woman sits straight and does not say a word. The writer can only attempt to guess whatever she is still smiling through the shadows. Well, what are you waiting for? I have nearly finished my drink. I have fallen into the same conundrum as you. If this is as far as both your references and your imagination go, how could I possibly put the Red Dragon's ultimate fate to paper? I have already said all I am able to. I refuse to give this story an entirely fictional end, one that even I could believe in, even if the alternative is that there is no ending. If you don't have an answer either, then no need to waste your time here. Live while it's still early. Is this because you don't remember, do not understand, or is it because you wish you never knew, never understood? What? What are you getting at? You have never lost sight of the ending. It would be more appropriate to say that your eyes have become clouded by too many creative liberties. Shall I recount them for you? Treasures leading people into the darkness, Colan dragging the statue to the square by himself, and virtually everything related to the dark mist in the woods, from the trajectory of the bridges to the food carts returning to the city on their own, to Lakshmi becoming lost in the woods, to the Brigadier and the Blanas meeting in the city. If these creative liberties have created a contradiction in your mind, then it is my responsibility to set them on a path towards the ending. Shall I supplement the story with my own observations? I'll take that as a yes. Perhaps they will lead you to a conclusion you can be satisfied with.
あなたは最も素晴らしい想像力を持
You
った指揮者
ingenuity
です
put to shame any conductor I have seen. And my stupidity have led to this path on the game, Greenstone. What else? Orion or iron and sugar. Don't know. Well, I guess that's it for today. I need to do a lot of things, and I need to start reading the convolutional kernel from Girls Frontline 1, so I'll leave it for today. Thank you for coming, thank you for watching, and I hope you come back the next stream. I want to make it tomorrow to do the Limbus Company one, the new event, intermission, whatever it's called, and start with the Xushin story. So, thank you. I'll be going now. Goodbye.